Which way? It is over here.
X game. Ooh.
X game. Ooh.
That was sick.
You have to mark it for me because I will with directions, and every time I get shot, I have to turn and look.
I'm so impressed by that stupid little thing that happened. I drove up a wall and I flew off it sideways in the air, and as I was flying, I fucking ran over a flying enemy and I killed him.
Oh, nice.
So I literally was in the air and I fucking did a kickflip into him.
Sean White now?
Pretty much. What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's episode of Game of the Month, the show where we pick a game at random every month and we play it, and then we talk about it at the end of the month. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And typically, we will announce our Game of the Months for the next month at the beginning of the episode, but we're going to try something out. First off, Chris is going to be picking next month's Game of the Month, as we've been doing this year. I already picked mine earlier this year. Chevy will be picking his later, and you guys will get to pick at the end of the year. But we're going to try out having the Game of the Month revealed at the end of the episode, so if you want to see that, you can skip to it or wait, hang out, and we will reveal it at the very end. But with that, quick reminders that Plus Club's coming up very soon. So make sure to play Overcooked and What Remains of Edith Finch. We don't know what the PlayStation Plus games for next month are yet. Once we find out, we will talk about it, but you guys will know already, I'm sure. And we have an iTunes, Spotify, you
and
can listen
other
to us.
podcast
But
platforms.
other podcast platforms, we have those. You can listen to us if you prefer that. And we have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. I think that's everything. Yeah, so this month we picked at random, Risk of Rain 2. That was a very quick intro. Oh, because we didn't talk about the thing. I was like, that was like 5 seconds. Why isn't every episode like that? We played Risk of Rain 2, picked randomly, which is kind of nice because I had altered the list right before it got picked, and it got picked, so that was convenient.
Very.
If you didn't get a chance to play it, Risk of Rain 2 is the sequel to a game called Risk of Rain that was a 2D roguelike. This one is a 3D roguelike, very ambitious of them, which is third person. You play as random characters that you unlock as you progress through the game through roguelike levels where you are trying to find a teleporter. You teleport to the next level. You find a teleporter. You go to the next level. You fight bosses before the teleporter lets you go through it. And as you play the game, depending on what difficulty you're playing on, the game will get harder at a faster or slower rate. So if you're playing on easy, you will slowly get to more difficult situations. If you're playing on normal or hard, it goes a lot faster. So you always will get to a harder part of the game over time, but the difficulty changes that. Yeah, third person. You shoot shit, you jump around, and there's gameplay in the corner in case you want to know what the fuck it looks like. Very much similar to the first Risk of Rain, but 3D. They did a good job with that. We all played it, I would say quite a bit. I mean, I put in on my own about 15 hours this month, and I know I played with you guys for about 9 hours of that. So I know you guys played about 9 hours at least. Because for some reason, this game goes on for a long time. It's very surprising.
It's weird roguelike in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah. So we all played it. Let's jump into impressions. We'll start with Chevy.
Let's see. So, I mean, besides obviously talking about like how what the game is, but
Real quick.
Yeah.
I've just because I like to let people know where we stand on this. I've played this game before. That's why I put it on the list.
Yeah.
It was released recently. It's still in early access, and this was your guys' in this month. Your guys' first time with it.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So that being said, I had heard and seen quite a bit of this game even before playing it, just because it is one of those games that kind of like blew up pretty quickly, and so
That buy one get two fucking special when it got announced was awesome.
One, it got positive.
That's why I bought it.
and it got positive feedback almost instantly.
Yeah.
So like, it was hard not to hear about it in that regard. So essentially being told I had to play it, it was a good opportunity to try it.
Crack
So
the whip around here, let me tell you. Like, here you go, Chris. Here's a fucking free game. You better fucking play it.
So I wasn't expecting a very positive reaction to the game, just because I'm not generally a fan of roguelikes and shooters. And that's mostly because most roguelikes, as Seth has brought up in previous episodes, there's really no point other than the challenge aspect and to see how far you can go.
I got to the 36th level, and then some guy's like, well, I got to level 208.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, fuck me. I'm
Well,
done.
and it's funny because you're seeing a lot of them dabble in giving you something to work towards now, which is 100% needed for me. And this game has that, and they're still working on it. In the character part in the very beginning, it shows, I think, 4 question marks right now of characters that are in the works. And if that is telling of the actual number they're working on and they have ideas for, that I'm with you. Can't wait, because what I have noticed, at least with the characters that I've unlocked, they're all drastically different. They do play
Hugely
differently,
different.
and you can pick one that fits your playstyle very well. Items are random, as is normal in these type of games, and so you can have good and bad runs, and that's just something you have to be okay with when you're playing these kind of games. That being said, even a bad run can still last you like 30 plus minutes in this game.
Yep.
So
And the whole time you're just like, ugh.
and you are
God,
going
I
to
just
be
wanna
in
die.
for a sit. Now you can just die, obviously, if you're like, I don't want to do this. This
You're a quitter.
build sucks. So, well, exactly. The thing I think this game really does right is that you're busy constantly. You are never thinking about what you're doing.
Time melts.
Yeah, because it's going and going and going, which I have to give it credit for, because one thing I hate about especially like hard games when they're intentionally trying to be hard is the idle time, because then that causes like anxiety to build up for me, and I don't want to play it. And this game, I don't have time to think about how I feel about it. I just have to go.
And the difficulty ramping as you play it is really neat because it eases you into that. You're not just against a hard dude all of a sudden. Sometimes you'll get some random fucking boss spawn who's like an elite version who's crazy. Like me and Rob had to fight for
Red boy.
fucking forever.
The last one we fought before we quit last night too.
Yeah, that was stupid. I was doing great. I was melting everybody, and then fucking that guy showed up, and I had just been a straight up god that whole fucking round, and then he just shut me off. I was like, okay, fucking good luck, guys, because I just got killed in one hit. He showed up and went, no. And I was gone. But that gradual build, there, when you're saying the anxiety thing, I don't really get that too much, just because I enjoy that aspect of games when it's like difficult as fuck. But it's not like Dark Souls where you show up to a boss and you're like, oh fuck, here we go. It's just like you're slowly building. These guys are getting a little harder, and then you get a little stronger because you found the right items or you didn't. And then there's just like a perfect flow, just like you're slowly just getting harder and harder and harder until, you know, you can't get any further. So
For sure. I think another thing that also helps the gameplay aspect of it too is that there are, besides just item collectibles, there are drones and turrets as well that you can grab, which add another element of gameplay. One round I know we're playing, and I hate to speak for you, Chris, but you had like, I don't know how many healing bots. It was ridiculous. And so when someone needed to heal, they just had to run over to Chris, and all the boss would all of a sudden these little green lines came out of him, and that was that run. He was essentially a medic. So
I was the swarm queen.
and it's neat that is even an element in the game in that regard. Also, secrets is really cool, that there's things you can find.
secret buttons that open secret bosses, chests that are in like a crack, and a lot of times they're always the same or slightly modified, but there is an element that when you're on that level to look out for stuff that will benefit you.
Well, yeah, once you know about it, the secret's gone. But the fact that there is discoverable stuff, especially the first time through the content,
Well, the maps modify too, which is cool.
yeah, I think that's great. And if they can keep adding stuff like that, even, I mean, this is gonna be a weird example, but like when Fortnite was doing all the like subtle hints on what's to come next type of thing, that mystery made people more interested. And in this case, the secrets, that mystery is going to keep people looking for stuff and wanting to find more, especially if they make a habit of like being the company that does that. I don't know if that's their plan, but if it is, I would definitely welcome
I think
it.
it's largely important for them to find ways to make it more and more random too, with the landscapes and stuff. It's easier to do with the 2D game because you just change the tile set,
Right.
randomly connect the pieces, make sure the doors align with each other. The algorithm does the rest. But with a 3D game, you know, I mean, Warframe does a good job, but it still is a 3D tile set. It's still this hallway piece, this big room piece, all locking together. Whereas this is putting you in like an open area, and sometimes a land bridge will exist, and sometimes there won't be one there. And I'd love to see more locations per level, and obviously new levels later. But just more places to go to change up looking for the items and looking for the boss and the teleporter and shit.
For sure. I only have one more thing I'm going to add, just because I'm sure I'll have things to add when you two start talking about your opinions as well. The big thing I really appreciate about this game, in a time where a lot of games are designed for console, this game definitely feels like it was designed for PC.
Ooh, it plays so good. Actually, shout out, fucking plays great on controller too.
That's great. I haven't tried it on that. I don't know how it feels. So
it's ready to go for console.
But
I plugged my controller and it worked.
Keyboard and mouse, specifically mouse aiming, is ridiculously tight, and
really
I
good.
really like that. So it feels great to play.
There's there's a robot character in the game who starts out really slow moving, has like a speed up move that you press, but he only goes slightly faster. Later, if you build him correctly, he's ridiculous. You can make any character fast, but he's slower than everybody else's like base movement speed. And he's got like a machine gun and like a single shot, like almost Gauss rifle type charge up gun, and a bunch of other stuff I'm not going to go into. But I'm able in that game to like fucking flick shoot real quick with my mouse across the map and hit dudes like in a single shot, just boom, and fucking knock a dude out there, boom, just like one shot, and that's first off just awesome to be able to do that. But secondly, the game aiming is so tight that I'm able to calculate that pretty quickly and get those shots off. Whereas some games that have more of a floaty feel, I'm gonna be praying and spraying a lot more,
right?
Just because I know I'm gonna get those fine aimed shots that this game has. I mean, every time I play this game, and this is a huge compliment, I always think of Quake or like Tribes. For sure. Which is weird because it's not that kind of game. But when I'm jumping around and getting these like fucking like perfect shots, I get that feeling. And those are two game series I fucking love. Like I'm a huge fan of both those games. So, that's a huge plus. Mm-hmm. They got the aiming down. It's really tight.
Yeah. Anyone want to take?
I'll go next. So, like I said before, I played this before. I liked it a lot. I was very happy that the buy one get one free fucking deal was worth it. And I was like, this game's fun. I wonder what it's like online. And I played online with people, and I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew I was gonna get on this game, and some asshole's gonna go, because there's chests all over the map, and they cost coin to open. And in there, like any roguelike, random shit comes out. And as you play the game more and more and more, you unlock more items that can come out of those chests, like most roguelikes. Anyway, you have to accrue coin, whatever it's called in the game, to open those chests. You kill things to do that. Some people everybody wants items. Some people want those items more than you, or they're not willing to share them. They just are like, I'm going to be awesome. And they're limited. You share the items. There's 5 chests. Doesn't matter if you grab them all. No one else is getting them. So you play online, and some guy's like, I'm going to get all those. And they fucking run around. They start snatching them up. And the whole time I'm like, you do realize that, I'm pretty decent at shooting games, but there's going to be a point where you are far more powerful, and you might suck at this fucking game. He might be awesome too. I don't know. But you have way more stuff, way more survival, way more fucking ways to kill things. I don't have that. So when we fight against harder enemies, the rest of the team, me and the other 2 people, the other 3 guns you're going to fucking need, the other 3 people you're going to need to be getting shot at so you're not getting unloaded on, are all going to die instantly. They don't care about that. They're just like, I want the items. And they grab them all, and on the second level, we fucking failed. Because we all died, and they weren't good enough to fucking survive the boss. So anyway, I was like, oh, God, I knew it. This is that kind of game. Like, the game's great. Saw that. Was very worried. Played it with you guys, because it became the game of the month. And when you're playing with people who cooperate, it's actually... It's better. It's better than single player, and that's a great thing, because I was kind of worried for a second. I'm like, some games where you have to share shit, it gets kind of difficult because not everybody's on board with that or whatever. But we kind of developed a system where we're kind of looking at what we all had, and if we pulled open a chest, even if you spent your own money on it, it was beneficial to give somebody something to stack, because in this game, if you grab an item, it gives you a perk. You can get more of the same item if you find it randomly, and it will make that better, and it almost seems like infinitely. It just goes on forever. You just get better and better and better. So if you have like one that increases movement speed, you can get really fucking fast in that game. And we were kind of get to the point where we started looking at what we were grabbing, and we're like giving each other the pieces, but we're also trying to keep it even. So everybody had the same amount of stuff. And I had a blast doing that. It was awesome. Really fun being able to progress like that.
That was almost a 2-hour game in itself, that one.
Yeah.
So
And you can just keep going because it's a fucking roguelike. Although I have been told by Rob that there's a point in the game where it just stops spawning enemies because they haven't made that part of the game yet. So again, it is an early access game, and in the time we've played it, there was lag when too many drones and enemies are on screen, and there is a lot of enemies and drones that can be on screen at once, insane amounts. Second time we played it recently, it seems like they've done something because that leg's gone, and it's very impressive that it's completely gone. I was like, oh wow, they got rid of that.
For sure.
Great optimization. But every once in a while there'll be a lag spike. We'll be running, and then it freezes for a second, and then you're moving again. And that can be pretty detrimental because every once in a while you fight an enemy that can kill you in one shot. So you need to be able to react. So they are updating this game, making it better and better and better. But yeah, so just touching on playing with people, it's really fun. It is important, though, you play with people who are going to work with you. Unless you're just like Wild West, we're going to all have fun and see who can be the best or whatever. But I don't think you're going to get that far playing like that unless you're just playing with a bunch of pros. But still, I feel like there has to be some kind of communication for everybody to be good enough. And, you know, you're not dead watching the other 3 people play all the time because you ain't grabbing enough items fast enough. That sounds boring as fuck. But yeah, art style I like. Somehow they made that 2D art style they made in the first game translate to 3D really well. It looks like the other game, and that's really impressive. The music's awesome. I love the music, especially the snow level. It's a really cool song. It's almost in every single trailer for the game on YouTube. After I bought the game, I kept getting commercials on YouTube constantly for Risk of Rain 2. I'm like, I already bought it, motherfucker. You're a little late.
Again.
Yeah, I just hear the music. I just look over, and there's like literally like a 13-minute ad of just gameplay, and that song's playing. I'm like, okay, and I skip it. I'm like, I already have this. This is fun. I like it. Just don't do this to me. Just like Purple, dude. Purple's always fucking just sending me advertisements. But yeah. So visually, it looks awesome. The music's really good. You know, I'd like to see more levels get made, and I guarantee they will. There's a shitload of items. I'd like to see more items, but that's just because I love how random it is. It makes every time you play interesting. I think the real cool thing about roguelikes, specifically with this one, is, and I've talked about this before, when you play a game where you're leveling up, like, oh, I'm level 1, and then you keep playing, you hit level 2, and then you get to pick a perk, you got a skill point or whatever, and then, like, you know, you're at level 20, you've gotten 20 skill points, and you're making this build. They have somehow found a way to speed that emotional feeling you get from that sense of progress into an hour of gameplay. You go from being nothing to amazing in an hour, and it's really addictive. You just keep going. You're like, oh my God, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Or you're like, oh fuck, this isn't going so well. And there's something about that, between that and the gameplay being fast paced and the slow build of difficulty, that makes this game, once you start it and you start a match, you're not thinking about time anymore. And that's a really good thing. You're being entertained when you're not thinking about checking your watch. And every once in a while, somebody will go, oh, fuck, it's been like an hour and a half. And I look up, I'm like, oh, shit. Because there's just this constant flow in this game. Once it goes, you're going. There's no breaks. Every once in a while, there's like these in-between areas you can like buy stuff from like this vendor, but it's not very often. But once you get going, it's going. You're going, you're talking with your friends, you're communicating, you're shooting shit, you're getting better and better at a faster rate, and there's just a formula here that is just really fun. And yeah, the classes, I think every single one of them is good, which is always nice to see from a developer when they can make multiple classes and make me want to play all of them. You got a basic like soldier kind of guy who can roll around. He's got a machine gun. You got a engineer I just got recently, and he's fucking dope. He's got like mines and a grenade launcher and turrets that take on his perks, which is really fucking cool. You have like this magic user robot chick who probably is my least favorite so far, but I see potential there. You definitely want to like nuke people with her. Who am I missing? There's a ninja guy who does a lot of aerial flipping and stabbing and shit. He uses a melee weapon. And then the archer who is really good at mobility, they auto lock on to character or the enemy. So you just start shooting and you can dodge and jump around a lot. And I really like that one a lot too, just because I like moving a lot. And then the robot, who I also, if built correctly, Johnny Five is fucking amazing.
The robot.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, all in all, just the way I'm talking about this, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad we played it this month. I hope we play it after this month. And I can't wait to see what they add to the game, because like Chevy said already, there's like 4 slots that have question marks on them, or like wrenches or something for the new characters. And yeah, I'd like to see more level variants and different levels, which I think would be pretty easy to do considering the visual style of the game. And more random ways to play those levels, even the ones that exist. I'd like to see alternate paths,
variations
get added, because it adds to, you're going to replay that level over and over and over again. It's cool to go, okay, in this variant you can't go over there. This time this door's open and shit, and I really dig that. Yeah, gameplay's good though, tight. And I also, one last thing I love is every single item you pick up in this game has some specific thing it does, and they stack or whatever. But the thing that's really cool is when you collect them, they actually show up on your body, and your character goes from looking like they do when they start out to some kind of weird amalgamation.
Pincushion. You look like a fucking pincushion.
It depends, dude. Like my fucking my robot essentially had like a giant hook off his back. And like he looked pretty normal. It was weird. He just looked more bulky and had more shit on him. Whereas like you can get the firefly wings. You can get like a little booster on your back. The sunglasses you'll have on, and it's just
leg.
cool. Yeah, the goat leg, and like your character will slowly evolve as you play. So you actually have a visual representation of your character and your build.
I'll say my guy looked fucking ridiculous.
Sometimes they do.
I had the shots in my fucking hip. I had
the
mushrooms
shots,
on
the shots
my
are actually
shoulder.
stabbed into you.
Yeah.
They're not like you carrying them, like they already got put in you, and you're just
Leaving
too lazy
them
to
in.
take them out.
And then mushrooms on my shoulder. There was a rifle over this shoulder.
And the mushrooms like have physics and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I was just
around
like,
while you're running.
I look ridiculous, man.
Yeah. And I just think that was a really cool touch, because they didn't have to do
It
that
is.
at all. And I would have still, my opinion of the game would be the same. It's actually a little better just because somebody decided, let's put all the items on them. Let's make them look fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed it.
It is a really fun game, but I would like to see more variety, like you said, in levels and enemies. Enemies seem to get really repetitive after a while. They just tend to get a little like do more damage and have a little more health. But that being said, this game isn't early access, so I kind of give it a pass on that one. But I am curious to see what they do with it in the future, because like you said, there's more characters to unlock. I want to see more levels. I want to see more variety, that kind of stuff. I want to see more variety in items too, although there's quite the variety as it is. I'd like to see, I don't know, just something zanier, in my opinion. Like there's some interesting things here and there, like that hat you guys kept getting where it was just made you Thor.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
But-
Real quick, sorry. You know, I thought of something that you could do to make it interesting as well, because they're going to run out of, obviously perks to give you, is give you maybe versions of those that are heavier in the perk, but also come with negatives then.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, as you play the game, you're going to unlock more and more items too. Because I've
Right.
still unlocked some. I've played
Yeah.
a little longer than you guys, so there might be stuff we're not seeing. And then sometimes each run, certain items won't spawn at all, and other ones will.
Yeah.
So that will even change up the dynamic as well. So it's kind of interesting. In fact, not to steal what you're saying from you, but I want more items as well, 100%. As long as they're, they take the time to make sure they work and they're awesome and they're fun, because I think they've done a great job with that already. But I think I prioritize more. I'd like to see more levels and variants, because that's something you're repeating every single time. The items are random. Sometimes you don't see certain items run. But the enemies, the only reason I agree with you on that is because it gets to a point where it starts throwing bosses at you as normal enemies, and that's fine, but at the same time, it feels more so because they ran out of things to throw at you. So they throw at you like the bosses you fought on a lower difficulty. And I'd just like to see more and more enemy types get created in more creative ways. But there actually is quite a bit of enemies, but they throw so many at you, you see them all pretty quickly.
Or more objective type things to get items, like how you have the gambling totems, or the pick 3 ones and stuff like that. It'd be cool to see other things thrown in there to get you the same items that are in the game, even just other ways to get them.
I'd also like to see more choice in the direction you go once they add more levels or whatever, because every once in a while when you get the portal, it's kind of neat to go, do we want to go further? Do you want to hit the portal and see where that goes?
Yeah.
I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, just like a voting option at the end of a level every now and then, like go to this level or go to this level would be really nice to have.
Well, I just
I'd
think,
also like to have an
randomly-
item, like a box where if you grab the item out of it, like everybody in the group gets it. Just make it like a multi, like
super expensive.
yeah,
Make
like
everyone
super
pay for it at
expensive
the
for
same
sure.
time, type
Like
thing.
those fucking chance boxes we kept getting, we're getting nothing out of it.
Yeah. I'd like to see, because it's within the nature of the game, even though we don't really like the, I'm going to grab everything thing. I think it'd be cool if there was like a mega chest that had the amount of items of the same item in there per how many people are playing. So if you had 3 people, it's going to be 3 of that or 4 of that, whatever. But if you opened it and it's like stupid expensive, or, it takes like 5 lunars, 10 lunars, which is a different currency in the game, then you could just grab all 4 of them too if you wanted to. And then people can be like, oh, that guy's a piece of shit. But to have that kind of option would be kind of neat.
Or a co-op chest where everybody has to put a set amount of money
Community, yeah.
into it.
That'd be kind of interesting too. Just have a chest in the center and then like 4 little stepping areas where you have to run up and hit it.
And everyone has to pay for it at the same time.
Kind of like the buttons or whatever. 2 on the buttons at the same time. Anyway, that's a cool idea.
But yeah, it's a fun game. And like you said, the shooting is really tight, and playing with other people that we can communicate with who are all on the same level makes it really entertaining. I think if I played online with randoms, I would hate it.
Yeah, you're either going to
Absolutely
get with
hate
a group of people who are going to work together because they're sick of that shit, or you're going to play. It's like any game where you play with random people. You don't know what you're going to get. But there's a good chance there's going to be at least one. If you're getting 4 people, there's a really good chance you're going to get at least one person who's a fucking dickhead.
I had pretty good luck on Final Fantasy all day today. Not one jerk, so.
Yeah, but there's specific people who play Final Fantasy 14.
I don't know. If I raid all day, there's usually the one guy who's like, you guys all suck. I'm
Yeah,
out
but
of
if
here.
you're playing WoW, you'd fucking find that person way faster.
It's true.
But yeah, the other thing I'd like to see is like if everybody picks the same character, maybe like color variations just to differentiate everybody would be nice.
I'd love if you could just go in and change the color of your character. Have the
Yeah.
same characters as everybody else, that's fine. Like, have them look the same. Maybe add skins or outfits later, but even if you
Yeah.
just change the color palette of your character, whether they
Or
have
helmets, like
presets
variation
or
on helmets for each character
That'd be cool.
would be fun. Like
and
a
customization
achievement-based
be
thing.
dope. Yeah. There's a lot of, like, they have a really great foundation. They could really go in a lot of ways.
It's basic enough that they can do whatever they want, I think.
Yeah.
So.
That's what, yeah. That's why when he's throwing out ideas, I'm like, yeah, they could do all that.
Yeah.
I can't see why they couldn't.
For sure. Any other thoughts on the game?
No. That's pretty much it. You guys have said pretty much everything that I mirror.
Yeah. Well, that's like what Chevy said. I'm like, I pretty sure agree with everything he said. So he's touched on stuff that he didn't really touch on. So, and Chris is just like, yeah, that's good. Add things.
Now add more stuff.
And
Give me
if-
stuff.
and well, and we've said it a couple times now. It's in early access. They're gonna add stuff,
Yeah.
unless it is end up being a deadbeat developer, which I
Which
don't
happens
see.
sometimes, but these guys have risk. They already made risk.
They already made a game, yeah.
So they're not going anywhere. They're not the one hit wonder. And Risk of Rain people really liked. We got it on PlayStation Plus years ago. I don't remember when we talked about it, but I know it was on there. And I thought it was fine at the time. I was like, I'm not a big roguelike guy. This is way better. I mean, I really enjoyed this game. So, yeah. And
The only thing that seems to be missing for me to make me like it even more would be like maybe just a little hint of like a background story or like a story of why you're doing what you're doing. Just a little hint. I know it's early access, but like right now it just feels kind of like a loot and shoot game, just nothing else.
Could be in the
a lot
works.
of roguelikes are like that. So,
Yeah.
but most of them do have storylines. So, Rogue Legacy was pretty basic, but was quirky. So you were making your own story pretty much. And Dead Cells is dope as shit. And there's a free DLC that just came out for it. They had a whole new area in Boston. Shit, I need to play it. I wish I could get into sort of Ditto. I love everything about it except for playing it.
I still need to try it. So.
Anyway, recommendations. I will, unless you guys have anything else.
Cool. No.
If you like roguelikes, this is a must in my opinion. I think it's one of the better ones. I've talked about pretty much anytime we talk about roguelikes, but I'm not a huge roguelike guy. I do like certain ones a lot, and when I like them, I like them. But a lot of them, they gotta have some kind of sense of progression, or really fun gameplay. And I think this has both. Even though it is early access, it has already shown potential and has things to unlock and things to try and achieve, and the gameplay is fun as shit. So that's a really big reason you'd want to play it as a fan of roguelikes. If you like cooperative games, specifically action or shooter cooperative games, even if you like loot and shooters, this is not a loot and shooter game, but you will get a similar vibe of running around with your friends looking for items and making a character and build that you will not keep. But I think you might want to check this out. In fact, you two sound like you like this game, and you two don't play shooters very often. And you guys do. I'm not trying to discredit you, but that's not necessarily your forte. So to hear both of you go, it's fun, and the shooting's tight and stuff like that. That's just a testament that I really think most people can play this game, which is kind of crazy because it's like a small indie. There's like 3 dudes who make this game, and you just jump around and shoot shit. But for some reason, and I can't even put my finger on it completely, and I like shooters, it feels great in every way. It's just it's a game you can play and it's enjoyable. If you like shooters, if you like first-person shooters, third-person shooters, check it out. If you don't like roguelikes, you're going to probably struggle with this. But if you like shooters, it's super tight and feels great. It feels really good. It feels better than a lot of games. They did a really good job on fine-tuning that. If you like sci-fi games, you might dig it. It's got kind of a weird sci-fi vibe. It's got cool music that you might dig if you're into music, although I doubt you'd buy a game before it's music. But it's really good. I really think most people could play this and probably enjoy it. I think there's just certain people who are just not going to be into the roguelike nature of it. But outside of that, if this is just like a shooter where you leveled up and got loot and stuff like that, I think most people dig it. It's just in a specific genre. So, but yeah, that's my recommendations.
I don't really have anything to add to that. I just kind of want to emphasize when you said shooters, specifically like in the style of like Quake, Unreal, or
which is weird because it doesn't look like those games at all.
Yeah, but it plays very similar.
At least in them double jumps and fucking quadruple jumps.
Well, especially when you get power ups where you can start moving real crazy and doing all the jumps, and depending on what character, especially playing the default guy, he's pretty much the shooter guy.
Joe Everyman, fucking run and gun, roll around.
And yeah, you can absolutely play it that way. So, yeah. I mean, other than that, I agree with you 100%. So,
anything else to add, Chris?
The thing I think I would add, other than everything else you've said, would be that if you're looking for a game to play with your friends, that you can have like a good conversation with while playing a game at the same time.
It's
like,
weird because the game's hectic as fuck, but I'm still able to like sit there and talk with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because some games I'm like focused on. I'm like, hold on, wait a second.
And there's moments in the game where you have to like stop and like think about what you're doing, where you're going. But for the most part, it lends itself really well to like just being able to like get in with all your friends who are working together and chit chat and talk about things.
And then network in the game seems to work pretty well.
Yeah,
you don't really have any issues outside of the optimization. But yeah. Another thing I want to add real quick: I talk to people who say this. If you like indie games, I know people who buy games because they're indie games.
For sure.
People like to support that. People like to try out these little games made by little developers, and I get that. I don't seek those things out, but I appreciate them 100%. I always love to see what smaller teams can do. You'll want to pick this up. You probably already did. But also and I know some people are on the opposite spectrum of this where they don't like the idea of early access because they're like, it's not finished, and they might fuck you over because they got burned at some point or they've heard about that. I get that 100%. It's part of the gamble. But I'm one of those weird people who does like buying early access games because I like getting access to the game and watching it evolve and sometimes not evolve, and that sucks. But sometimes you see something really turn into something amazing, and it's kind of cool knowing that you gave them money and they made that work, and you get to experience the early version of that. But it's not for everybody because some people don't like that minimalized, lesser version of a game at first, and they're like, I hate this game. I'm so pissed that I bought it.
Or the direction they go isn't the direction they thought they'd go. Or there's a lot of
so many routes and variables
for sure.
Yeah. But I am one of those people who likes buying early access games for the most part. Every once in a while I get burned, and that's just the way it is.
Go, yeah.
But I do every once in a while I'll like go on Steam, look at a game. It's like early access. I read their roadmap. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'll buy this. I want to see what they do.
You know, sometimes too, you'll play it a bunch.
Fucking Rock
and
and
it's,
Stone. I mean,
and
that's an example of that.
You'll play it in its early stages, and then you won't play it for like, fuck, I don't know, a year, and then you come back to it, and you're like, whoa, this game's so different now, and then it's a new game again. So
Yeah.
there's obviously, you know, pros and cons, and your comfort level on what you want to do with your money. So
Yeah, 100%. What's Rock and Stone? What's that? What's the
Deep
name?
Rock Galactic,
Yeah, that game is fucking. A lot of shit's been added to it.
I'm sure.
It's crazy. Like they're going at it. So that's one of those games that like I bought it early access.
And revisit it later.
They're still doing early access. I still haven't touched it because I keep watching all the stuff they're adding. I'm like, I'm gonna wait a little bit because they keep adding crazy and crazy shit. It's gonna be a completely fuller game when I play it the next time. So I love that shit. Anything else? A lot of recommendations. I feel like, and I pretty much said everybody, as long as you don't dislike roguelikes, and even if you do, check it out because I'm not the biggest roguelike guy. Chris, let's go with you on the grade.
I want to give it, because it's got such tight controls and fun gameplay, a B minus.
B minus. It's fair.
I think it's got some room to improve, and it's still in early access, so you know I look forward to seeing what it's gonna do.
Yeah. B minus is fair. Fuck, I don't even know what I want to go with. I really feel like I should be giving this a B, but I want to go B plus because I really enjoy it. For all the reasons we said, I really like playing this game a lot. I can't go higher because it's not complete, and I don't know where it's going to go, and there is shortcomings because it's incomplete. But what they have so far is awesome. It's cool that a couple people made this, and it's really fun, and I literally can't wait to see what they add to it. So I have to give it a B plus.
That's funny. You pretty much echoed my thoughts. I was been thinking B plus
first.
You did say it first. I've been thinking B plus pretty much the whole episode, and I've been trying to, while you know you guys were sharing information and stories, I was going, okay, is that what I really think? Is that what I really think? And I can't like seem to sway from it. So, and I think it's because as well because I can't go higher because it's not done, and there is definitely things to add to the game because this is not a game I can sit down and play every single day. I will get burnt out very fast.
Oh, dude, yeah. If we were going hardcore in this game, I'd be done with it in like 2 days.
But you know, like maybe the once a week, once every a couple weeks type thing, play with your friends thing. It's a blast.
And when we play it,
and it's hours, and it goes by. You're not even thinking about it. So that, and because of the fact that for an early access game, or essentially a beta, it works. Like there's hardly any problems. Yeah. So
just needs more stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do think it is a safe early access game to buy into if you're on the fence. And I can't wait to see where they take it.
100%. So B plus, and B minus, all fair grades. Like I said, man, like my brain's just like B. Give it a B. B. It's good. It's a good B. And I'm like, but I really like it. It's really fun. So it's got to be B plus. So I had to edge
averages
that
out
forward.
between us to a B.
Huh?
It averages out between us to like a B.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Which I think is a good grade. So let's know in the comments, did you play Risk of Rain 2? Have you not played it? What do you think about roguelikes? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character?
I haven't played all of them yet, but so far the default guy actually.
Yeah.
His mobility is just really good.
I think you're gonna like the engineer though.
I was watching you play him the whole time. I was like, that's totally my
He's awesome.
type of guy.
You literally can set up camp and sit still, and your turrets just shoot everything.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
I also think it's Chris, this kind of guy though. So
Yeah.
we typically are similar. So
yeah. You guys are more supportive players. I like him only. He's one of my favorites too. I like him just because not for the supportive role. I'm actually not a supportive character type guy. I like to get up in the front lines and shit, but I love utility. I love having options and deciding I'm going to do this. I mean, you can throw mines onto everything, including people. I fucking love.
Yeah,
You'd
you
like
accidentally
run
threw it
by
on me.
You ran by me. I threw it onto your back. And I didn't even notice. And you're like, you threw a mine on me. I turned around, you just like stand there with a mine, and then you just ran at an enemy and fucking blew up. And I was like,
It's funny. Yeah, as soon as you did that, I was like, I want to go hug this guy, see if it blows up. And I was like, suicide bomber.
And even the dome shield or whatever, you can throw them up on top of the dome itself. So you can just put fucking mines outside of your dome if they want to try and come in. They'll just fucking blow up. So A lot of really cool stuff.
And the dome heals while you're inside of it, and they can't shoot through it.
Was this a
It's-
scholar?
He's dope. Yeah. My favorite characters are the robot box boy, if he's built correctly. The archer is probably my go-to, and then the engineer. Even though I've only played him once, I really liked him. Chris?
I think I played mostly the archer so far,
Yeah.
but I haven't unlocked everybody yet.
The archer's nice because there's a survivability to that
Just
character,
constantly moving.
because you can prioritize not getting hit.
I just haven't had I love the way the archer plays, but I've not had one single good game with that character yet.
God, I've had awesome ones with her, but
So there's
none as
something
good as that robot.
missing there, which really sucks. So I played. I'm like, this is great, and I'm like, I always do awful though with this character. So
Yeah.
it's just not working
Just
for
the
me.
bad runs, or
Yeah.
you don't. You're not jiving with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. But
Yeah.
it hasn't worked.
Yeah, so let's know everything you think about Risk of Rain 2. And did you play the original one? How do you think that translates over to the sequel? And yeah, so that is us talking about Risk of Rain 2, but we are going to move into June. We're moving into June, and we have to pick a game of the month. Now, typically, for anybody who's not a regular around here, we normally pick randomly, and every 3 months now, we are allowing one of us to pick the game of the month. Chris is finally getting to pick the game of the month for June. I'm really building this up. I want you to get excited because he's had a whole month to sit around and think about all the games.
Should have had 3 months. to think
Yeah.
about it.
And kind of the rule with our random list is we put games into a random list. We pick randomly with a number. I kind of want to do it with dice just so you guys know we're fucking actually doing it randomly. But
Need a gachapon.
and yeah, and once we pick them, they go off our list. They're gone. So we don't come back to them. Although I do want to make a retro list at some point and have like a randomly selected retro point on the list and then re-roll again for an old game. But we're not there yet. But with us picking games, I say everything is fine. Within reason, you know, if you want to play Steel Battalion on Xbox 360,
That's
with
so
the
funny. I
old
was
controller.
literally thinking that.
I was just thinking of the
Like
most
the investment's too high.
The ridiculous setup. Or like, I'm like, okay, everybody, we gotta play fucking some Vive game.
That's fucking hilarious. I was like, yeah, just don't pick the mech game from Xbox where you need the
Yeah.
fucking 3-piece controller.
Exactly. Within reason, you know, something that most likely we can all play are single player games. It's all on the table. So
Yeah.
Chris can pick any game he wants to play, and we will play it throughout the month of June. The floor is yours, Chris. You can go into what you picked, why you picked it, or just fucking say it. I don't care.
All right, so I've been deciding between 3 games, and my criteria this month has been frugality because paychecks can be thin sometimes.
Oh, I'm planning for a trip right now. I appreciate that.
I'm planning for 2 trips, so.
Oh yeah.
But I was looking at Divinity Original Sin 2 because I think it was a game everybody could play together, but it's still like $50.
I have that.
Cut
game.
that out.
I have all the
I
games.
also looked at Warframe possibility, but I think I've decided on a game that I actually haven't got a lot of time to play, but I really want to play, and people are really eager to play right now, so it kind of works together, which is Path of Exile.
How it
What
works
is
for
this?
Seth.
Is this fucking Christmas? Is this is this Chris spelt with a K? Christmas?
Yeah. Well, you know, Kris Kringle, spelled with a K.
What the fuck? I've been playing the shit out of that game.
Oh, you're going to be playing it for another month.
Hell yes. I feel bad. I feel like I picked this.
No. It's a game I've wanted to play. I've heard a lot about. I've played a little bit of it, but I've always played it by myself, and I wanted to play with other people to see what it's like.
Okay.
I really enjoy Diablo, and I really enjoy playing it with other people, getting the combinations of it, and I really want to see what I can do with other people in this game.
Fuck yes, dude. I'm so stoked. I was thinking
Plus
about playing
it's
that right
free.
after this.
Plus, it's free.
It's free. Yeah.
And on everything.
Free to
now.
play.
On
And
everything.
way more technical than Diablo. But
Yeah.
we'll get there. I'm still learning shit. All right, so our game of the month picked by Chris in June is Path of Exile. I'm so fucking happy about that. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about that. And it's free to play, and it's on Xbox, PS4, PC. I have characters on PC. I have a higher level character on PS4 now. And yeah, play that, and we'll talk about that at the end of June. I think that's everything. So that's going to do it for this episode of Game of the Month for May. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and I don't know for how much longer, Facebook. Because I might delete the fucker. I hate Facebook. We have Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. Check me and Chris out on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all in one word. That's me. Check out Chris, Tasty_fruit. Hit the notification button when we go live because these fucking websites are all finicky and they don't tell you shit. And they unsubscribe you, so make sure to check that as well. Yeah, I'm Seth.
I'm Shelby.
And I'm Chris.
And stick around because Plus Club should be coming out very soon. And you can tell us everything you think about games. Until then, have a good week, guys, and take it easy.